I used to pray over our marriage bed because the abuse had just affected our marriage in the way of intimacy so bad that I would pray over the bed and say, Lord, let this be enjoyable. Let me have a desire to even do this with my husband. And from there to seeing what true intimacy was, God needed to show me that, but he could only show that to me after I experienced intimacy with him first. And once I received intimacy with God, to even know what that word meant, then he corrected the intimacy with the earthly relationships. And then it completely transformed my marriage. I remember a man explaining it to me. He was like, every relationship this way is a direct reflection to all your relationships this way. Meaning every relationship and every issue I had on earth, whether it was with trust, self-love, abandonment issues, it all reflected the relationship I had with God. I didn't trust him. I felt he had abandoned me. I need to be self-reliant or depend on no one. It all reflected to my relationship with God.
What's it like now?
My marriage is really good. I didn't know what healthy intimacy was. And from the abuse, I thought intimacy always revolved around sex. And my husband would say, Tremaine, you're not showing me love, or you don't know how to show love. And I would be like, well, we just had sex, so I must have showed you some type of love. And that's all I thought intimacy was sex. Well, through Men and Soul and through just going through healing and my healing journey with God, I've learned that that's not all intimacy is. And God had to take me to a place where I needed to depend solely on my husband. So 2 years ago, I had a bad infection and I had to have surgery. And my worst fear was that my husband would be left to take care of me. And he would do just a horrible job of taking care of me, and I'll probably not have a bath and everything else. And I needed to see something though. The recovery for that surgery was the hardest recovery of my life. It took me 6 months to recover from the surgery. And I was completely useless of my arms and everything. And I'll never forget the day it clicked, the word intimacy, and the change that came in my marriage with the word intimacy. My husband drew my bath water and I said, hey, I think I need my legs shaved. And they're really hairy. And he was like, no, nobody's looking at your legs, it's fine. And I was like, no, I have to see them. They're hairy. And I didn't think he was gonna do it. So he cooked dinner, he set up my table, he put the kids to bed, he drew my bath water, and he said, okay, come in the bathroom. And my husband shaved my legs. And then afterwards, he hadn't eaten. He put the table up, he gave me my medicine, and he put me on a couch. And it was the best experience of my life. When he walked off, he didn't know that when he turned his back, the feeling I felt like was, man, I really love this man. It was an intimacy I never experienced before. Watching him bathe kids and feed them and put them to bed, him shaving my legs, bathing me, feeding me, and he hadn't even eaten, and putting me to bed, I knew then that intimacy did not mean sex at all. It didn't revolve around that. And from that day forth, our marriage in the intimate area has completely transformed.